All right, from Cyclones Stadium, welcome to round one of the postseason as the homestanding Cyclones eventually play host to the Hugenot Falcons, who've given us quite a delay here tonight, Steve Peacock, because Hugenot, as you know, you grew up in that neighborhood, you know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
They alerted Mark Settle of a delay, and it's 7:25, and they're not here yet, but we expect them to be here. And when they do show up, you're expecting a close game tonight. Why is that?
Because we're banged up injury-wise, and we're not going to have our all-state wide receiver tonight, Blake Leak, out with a fractured thumb or broken thumb, and they had surgery, so he's out for the season. Big blow to the Eastern View, both offensively and defensively. Their number one receiver is out, and then they had Chance Graves go out 2 weeks ago, who was having a big year with a knee injury, and you got Alex Spangler tonight, who's banged up. He's got some sore ribs, but he's going to go tonight. So I'm going to be looking for a different Eastern View offense tonight. I think you're going to see more of a power running game tonight, from Eastern View.
Well, we were alerted to the fact that Coach Hatfield might add a new wrinkle as far as its offensive formation, and I guess that's sort of a matter of necessity when you have, you lost Chance Graves a couple weeks ago. As you said, Blake Leak, all-state receiver, and stalwart on defense, out of your lineup. So even though it is the next man up, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't change the way you do things.
Right, you don't. And the thing is, but those are one of your two best athletes on the field. And with now Alex Spangler banged up, you're going to watch defenses now really load up against Spangler. Dude's going to see a lot of double team coverage. So we're going to have like Elijah Harris step up and a couple other kids step up tonight in the wide receiver position to help out Till Butler, because Blake Leak was a safety valve and a go-to receiver, and he's going to be missing that.
So not only Elijah Harris, but also possibly Josh Logan would step up as a wide receiver as well.
Absolutely.
Now, Steve, we look at the Hugenot team. They come in tonight with a record of 6-4. They've played, as you point out, some 6A teams, so maybe they're more primed for the postseason. And then they've got some gifted athletes, Darnell Mason, the quarterback. Kevin Gales is a Division I prospect wide receiver, and some others. So as good as Mason is, however, he's thrown 19 TDs, but he also has 8 interceptions. And across the way, one thing about Till Butler is he's only had 1 pick this year.
Yeah, Till Butler does a good job, takes care of the football, and that's what he's got to do tonight, Mark. But again, look for Hugenot. They're going to be the offensive threat, but defensively, I think we'll be able to move the ball against their defense from the running standpoint. So just basically, if our defense can keep them in check, we'll do a good job.
All right, so Till Butler obviously has been very precise, and I think not throwing interceptions means that he's made some smart calls, and he doesn't try to force things.
No, he doesn't, Mark, and that's what he's got to do tonight. Take care of the football, hand the ball off to Rock Lawson, let him and Ronte Robinson, let them do the damage. Take advantage of your big offensive line. Hugenot's got a big offensive line, but defensively, they might be a little big, but I think they're going to be slow up front. Use our quickness to our advantage and see if we can, get on the board and get on top of them quick. We don't want to be trying to play catch up to Hugenot. We want to get out on them quick. And the other thing is tonight, just cut down on the penalties.
And I think that Eastern View can out-finesse them, but as you pointed out, don't make the penalties at this point in the season. It can hurt you badly and spell doom.
Right.
Anyway, good analysis. Looking forward to calling the game with you as always. And again, it's single elimination. So look, you win, you move to the next round. You lose, you have to call the season. So that's where we are tonight. Number 3 seeded Eastern View playing host to number 6 seeded Hugenot. And we'll bring you all the exciting action tonight on the Culpeper Media Network. Right now, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have team captains center of the field for tonight's coin toss. Stay tuned.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice, because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best. Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
From Cyclone Stadium, welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football and to this round 1 of the postseason as your number 3 seeded Eastern View Cyclones play host to the visiting Hugenot Falcons, the number 6 seeded team in this region. Hello everyone, I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk, the man behind the camera tonight up top, and you're looking at Eastern View's team captains from left to right there. Alex Spangler, Jason Southern is number 70, Till Butler number 10, and
Drew Serena, number 9.
All right, and Steve, Hugenot was late arriving tonight, so we've got a late start as well. They came up from Richmond, and they are located in your old stomping grounds. But you mentioned that the Hugenot Falcons haven't been in the playoffs for a long time, so they're going to break that drought here tonight.
Yeah, they haven't been in the playoffs in 20 years. And, yeah, I lived in Richmond when I was from age 6 till 12 and only lived about maybe, as you know, about a mile from Hugenot High School. But it's all changed back since those 50 years ago. But they've been around. They're a Richmond City school. They've been around a long time. Not known for their football proclivity as far as winning football tradition down there. Last time was 20 years ago, was in the playoffs. But they come in tonight with a 6-4 record mark. And I think they're big up front, offensive line. They've got a good receiver, got a quarterback can get him the ball. He is prone to throw interceptions. Going against the Eastern View Cyclone team that's 9-1, coming in a little bit banged up for this first round playoff game here at Cyclone Stadium. And big thing, they're out their number 1 wide receiver, all-state, returning all-state player Blake Leak, and that's going to hurt them very much tonight.
Well, he adds to the list of the players who were out. 2 weeks ago, they lost Chance Graves, and so he was having a great season for the Cyclones. And talk about the next man up mentality that Coach Hatfield talks about. That is true, but as we mentioned in our pregame show tonight, sometimes that may mean changing, adding a wrinkle or changing a dimension as far as what you do. It'll be interesting to see what the Cyclones do tonight on offense with Leak and Graves out of the lineup. Will be more of a pound and ground game with the likes of Rock Lawson and Ronte Robinson. And don't forget, a couple weeks ago, Drew Sharina had over 100 yards rushing. So they've got some different options to go to, and it will be hurtful to the Cyclones that they're playing without Chance Graves and Blake Leak, but they've been there before where they've lost key players, and it's just a matter of being resilient and the next man stepping up and just making sort of those adjustments. And I think that Coach Hatfield and his staff has done a good job of that over the years, don't you?
Yeah, he has, Mark. They come in with the winning tradition, and they've got the experience, the playoff experience, and they're playing at home. So I look for, like you just said it very very well, next man up mentality. That's what Coach Hatfield preaches. And so what he's got to do now is, to play. Kids got to go out and play. And the thing tonight for me, what I'm looking for tonight is making sure, seeing that as Eastern View, the penalties. They've been a very penalized team during the regular season, and that can't carry over into the playoffs. If it does, that could spell doom for the Cyclones because you just give up too many yards. And if you give up yards to good teams in the playoffs, they're going to make you pay.
Well, and this is round 1. Technically, it's a quarterfinal game because there are 8 teams in your region. Here's the coin toss, and looks like, well, never mind. I was going to say that with 8 teams in the region, this is a quarterfinal game, and Eastern View seeded number 3, Hugenot number 6, and you're talking about penalties and mistakes. They can be deadly, and as you advance into the playoffs, obviously your competition gets better each week.
It sure does, Mark, and looks like Eastern View won the toss, and they're going to defer. And one thing I was just going to tell you too, when you look at the power ratings, there was like maybe almost 1 point separated between Hugenot, Dinwiddie, and King George for the final 3, 6, 7, and 8 spots. So that's how close it was in the power ratings. So and Hugenot won by its virtual win over Powhatan last week, was able to sneak into that 6th seed by virtual 1/10 of a point over Dinwiddie. So, again, it's, Culpeper, Eastern View has never faced this team before. Going to see something different. We'll see how Eastern View responds. But again, that looks like, Hugenot's going to, Eastern View deferred and is going to kick off to Hugenot. And we're going to have Hugenot's offense on the field first.
I thought Hugenot won the toss.
No, Eastern View won the toss and deferred.
So Hugenot will receive.
Right. And Eastern View.
So Garrett Hutchinson and the kicking team on the field. And of course, Hutchinson's had a spectacular season. And I'm appreciative of the stats that Devin Payne compiles each week. We've got a kicker here, Garrett Hutchinson, who's 57 of 62 with his extra points. 2 or 3 field goals, and the longest of which was 38 yards. And he's done his share of kicking off for a team that's very prolific. Eastern View can light it up. Let's see how things go here as Garrett Hutchinson kicks off, and we are underway at Cyclones Stadium. This ball fielded at the 5-yard line. And on the return, getting across the 25 was Hugenot's Manuel Ross, who's a key receiver. And so Hugenot will have average field position as they start on offense tonight here in the first round of this Region 4B playoffs. And they're going to start from their own 26-yard line. We know some of the key players. Of course, you're going to start with that quarterback, Darnell Mason. Wide receiver, Kevin Gales. Another wide receiver, Monquel Ross. Running back, Hosea Colefield will be a lot of the players, will be really the main players we expect to be calling here tonight.
And number 2 looks like a little Diego Hunter out there. For
Johnny
Hugenot.
moved left. There you go. There you go. Here's the snap, and it's a quick throw. And this one snuffed out nicely. Brock Lawson threw Sharina in on the tackle of number 8, Marquise Dunbar, for a pickup of 1 yard. And
Mark, just like I said, they're going to try to start out throwing. They're going to try to get their speed guys on the edge against Eastern View. It looks like Eastern View is already up to what they're doing. Drew Sharina made a heck of a tackle on that last play.
Well, they operate from the gun, do the Falcons, and the quarterback is Darnell Mason, number 4. He's going to throw again here. And this one, Rock Lawson makes the tackle of Marquise Dunbar. He got across the 30. It looks like out to the 31. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5 here for the Hugenot Falcons. You're looking at the Eastern View defensive squad there. We'll try to pick up some of those starters for you as we can. John, move left, please. All right, 3rd down, 5, handoff, running back here. Pretty good run, and he's very close to a Hugenot first down. Took several players to bring him to the ground. The running back there, Hosea Cofield, and remember, he's the player we told you we'd be mentioning frequently tonight. He came into tonight's game with 768 rushing yards. He has picked up a first down for his team here. New set of downs as they mark it at the 37-yard line.
And Mark, the boys up front, led by number 69 for Eastern View, Jordan Breckley and company. They've got to, like I said, try to get pressure on this quarterback.
And he's throwing. This one, his first long pass of the night. And it was intended for Kevin Gales. And out there defending for Eastern View, number 18, Dylan White. So incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. We're in the opening minute and a half of this first quarter at Cyclone Stadium. So far, no score, but obviously we've just started. Hugenot started its first drive here on its own 26. They picked up 1 first down so far. They have it at the 37, and it's 2nd and 10 from that spot. Now look at this offensive line for Hugenot. You're talking about some size up front. They've got it.
They're big.
Here's the handoff. This is Cofield looking for some running room, and they're going to swarm tackle him at the 40-yard line. They'll hold him to 3 yards on the pickup, and now we'll have a 3rd and 7 coming up. How about some of those Eastern View starters, Steve, up front?
78, Elijah Hoskin, who just made the tackle. 99, Jordan Dotson. 69, we already said Jordan Breckley up front. And who at the defensive end, I think it's going to be C.J. Taylor at number 7, and then Drew Shereen and Mikey King at the linebackers.
All right.
The secondary shortly.
All right, here is a 3rd down and 8, rather. Here's some pressure coming in, and the quarterback almost got away from it, but make it a nice open field tackle. Drew Sherina, and Sherina may have saved a big gain by that quarterback had he not made such a nice tackle there.
He did, Mark. Did a good job right there on that play. Was able to make a good open field tackle on the quarterback for Hugenot to punt, and now we're going to see Eastern View on offense.
All right, let's check the punter. Now I have on the roster that Jason Morera Chavez is the kicker. We'll look for his number here in a minute. So here's the snap and the kick. End over end. Spangler gets under it near the 25. Got a little bit of room at the 40. And they'll tackle him on the Hugenot side of the midfield at the 45-yard line. Once again, Spangler with a nifty return, as he's done all season long. Gives his teammates excellent field position as the Cyclones come out to the field with their offensive unit for the first time tonight with 8:50 to play here in the first quarter, and we're scoreless.
Mark, Kevin Gales is the punter, number 1.
Okay.
He was the one punting the football for Hugenot. But now we're going to see Eastern View on offense, led by their big offensive line, Jason Southern and company, and Till Butler at quarterback position, and he's going to have to, like I said in the pregame, take care of the football.
And remember, Chance Graves, Blake Leak, not in the lineup for the Cyclones. We'll have to look for some help from others. And they start on the ground here with the running back left side, and he got inside the 45, and we got an injured Cyclone there. It was Rock Lawson, the ball carrier. I'm not sure who the Eastern View player shaken up is.
It looks like it might be Rock.
No, it's number 44, Mikey Keene, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. That could be a blow for Eastern View.
It seemed like he sort of got trapped there in the pileup, Steve, and body twisted in a abnormal way. And that can happen in a pileup, can it?
It sure can. I hope they don't lose him. I mean, Eastern View's getting bit by the injury bug, and right now, right at the worst time of the season, right here during the playoff season, Mikey King's a big player. Not big on offense for him that much, but big on defense.
Yeah, he's played well. He's played consistently well for the Cyclones this season, and been a great addition. Well, while they attend to him, we'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mays, 829-9200. And Able Heating and Air, able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. So with the injured player, that's Mikey Keene. The clock is stopped with 8 minutes and 43 seconds to play here in this first quarter. The injured player, Mikey Keene, who was assisted off the field. He's now sitting on the bench, and looked like he was complaining of some pain in that right knee. All right. Well, ball at the 43-yard line, where it is 2nd and 7 now for the Cyclones. Butler handing off. Left side running back there is Rock Lawson. He got to the 40. He picked up 3. And we'll have 3rd down and about 3 coming up for Eastern View here on their first series of downs.
And again, a big 3rd down play here, Mark, for Eastern View. I've been looking at the sidelines, looking at Mikey King, and he's really working gingery on that leg. I don't think you're going to see him tonight. He might have twisted that knee up good, so big blow to them defensively for Eastern View, but next man up and see if Eastern View can pick up this 3rd and short.
Alex Spangler, Eli Harris, receivers top of your screen on 3rd and 3 right here. To keep it on the ground. And Lawson, second effort, he lowered that shoulder, powered his way forward, may have a first down for Eastern View, and in on the tackle there for Hugenot was El Pinchino Cosby. And that should be enough for, well, they're going to say it's about a half a yard short, unless they want to measure.
They want to measure. I think they're going to measure this. I mean, from here, it looks like he got it, but, you know, we're not down on the field, so we'll see what the chain gang says.
On first down, they start at their own 46, and it looks like it's at the 36 right now. It's going to be awfully close. If he doesn't have it, it's going to be by inches.
Well, I think Eastern View will go for it, too, on fourth down here.
Yeah, I think so, too. You have the ball right here, and you've got a guy like Rock Lawson. And if he can't give you a half a yard, something's wrong, right?
And I think what Coach Hatfield's game plan is keep hitting him with a run and then hit him with play action, see if they can get Harris or Spangler open on a go route. We'll see.
Here's your measurement. And it looks like, I think he's got it.
Yeah, they're going to say short. Fourth down.
It's got to be like 2 or 3 inches then.
Now, but see, here's my pet peeve.
Don't go shotgun.
Don't go shotgun, and he's going to go shotgun.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, you want to be up under center, yeah. I hear you.
I mean, that's me. If you get Tilly, say get up under center and go, and just snap the ball on a quick count and just fall forward.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. This close.
Drew Sharina's in there.
But see, they're going to go with the power package. He gets in the shotgun.
Yeah, he sure does.
This is going to be really
bunched up formation here, isn't it?
Yep.
Hugenot showing pressure here. Phil Butler trying to draw him off. Here it is, Butler straight ahead. He gets a little help from his teammate there who pushes him forward. And that would be big number 70, Jason Southern.
Yep.
That's what Christian McCaffrey's teammate did, trying to get him into the end zone against Green Bay.
Yep.
Right?
75-2 was also in on that mark. That would be 75 for Eastern View is Ricky Robinson.
Ricky Robinson
and Jason Southern in on there.
Needed a few inches for a first down, and with the help of his teammates, he picked up 3 yards and a first down for Eastern View. They now have it. 1st and 10 at the Hugenot 33-yard line. 7:03 clock ticking, first quarter action. Here is Till Butler going to throw. Got Alex Spangler on the slant, and Spangler hit it into the end zone. It's a touchdown with no flags on the field.
No flags on the field. Lock the front door, shut the windows, bend down the hatches. It's a Cyclone touchdown. Till Butler to Alex Spangler on the touchdown, and Hugenot keeps complaining about it. Thought there was a pick play on the play, but there wasn't, Mark. It was beautifully executed touchdown.
Well, it looks like you're watching the Hugenot defense. It's like they just stopped on the play.
Yeah, they thought it was a pick play. They thought they got picked off or he pushed off, interference, and it wasn't. They just stopped on it, and Spangler made him pay.
And now Garrett Hutchinson on for the point after, and Till Butler who threw the touchdown pass is the holder. Hutchinson's kick up and good. 7-0 our score, Cyclones. 6:52 to play. How long did it take them to get it? Well, they started thanks to that punt return by Spangler. He gave the Cyclones excellent field position at the Hugenot 46-yard line. And 4 plays later, Butler connected with Spangler for a 33-yard touchdown pass at the 6:52 mark, and then Hutchinson's point after makes it 7-0. And so Spangler's been big, as so many players have on this team. And look at these stats provided courtesy of Devin Payne. Spangler came into tonight's game, Steve, 18 receptions, 568 yards. That's 31.6 yards per catch and 10 touchdowns. He just scored his 11th right there.
He just does a good job, and I know the Hugenot players and the coach went over. They thought Spangler, either it was a pick play, thought he pushed off, but he didn't. He just ran a good route, and they quit on the play, and Alex made him pay. So yeah, it looks like they're wrapping up Mikey King's ankle, not his knee. So that's better than the knee. So it looks like he might have twisted that ankle.
All right, here is Hutchinson kicking off. This one a line drive kick taken at the 5-yard line. And your return man there gets across the 30. That was Monquel Ross, who also doubles as a wide receiver. Well, this broadcast is made possible by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union, 888-887-9136. Hugenot offensive unit back on the field now for the second time, and they'll start this drive from their own 31-yard line.
And Ronta Robinson replaced Mikey King.
Here is Mason, the quarterback, near side. Here's a penalty flag coming in on the play as well as actually it was a running back there, Hosea Cofield, and in on the tackle for Eastern View, among others, was number 33, Ronte Robinson.
Yeah, he replaced Mikey King, Mark, and it's going to be holding against Hugenot. That was thrown in the backfield, so Eastern View is going to take that penalty and repeat first down.
That's a big one. Now look at this offensive line for Hugenot, Steve. Don't they average about 300 pounds a man up there?
6'3", 300 pounds a man, and you can see all that beef right there.
Where's the beef?
Front, but you know, as I've been watching them, they might be strong, but they don't move very well. So Eastern View's got the quickness on them, and it looks like you can pretty much blitz that passing, you know, that quarterback because the quickness isn't there with that offensive line. They don't move their feet very well.
All right, here is 1st and 21 now after the penalty. Mason is going to keep it. He's going to go nowhere. This play sort of busted as Eastern View was all over it. Jordan Dodson and company in on the tackle, and there's your quarterback there having to go to the sideline. I guess because his helmet came off, Steve, that would be Darnell Mason. Now we'll look for his backup at least on one play. And you mentioned his backup in the pregame drills. He is number 18 on his jersey, but he's missing from our roster.
Yeah, another phantom player, never fails. I don't look for this quarterback to be very mobile here, but
How about this right guard? That's some size right there.
the quarterback's got some beef too. Looks
Yeah,
like
he does. And he's
got
going to come out throw, and he's got a receiver out there incomplete. But I think we had a penalty. It's a legal procedure against Hugenot. That likely explains why the receiver was so wide open, because the defensive back had already seen the flag. But anyway, it's going to push him back another 5 yards, and that'll move it back to the 15, where it will be second down rather, and 26.
Yeah, they look like they're trying to fool Eastern View with that backup quarterback. Eastern View didn't think he was going to run. He went out there to try to throw it, but they had a legal procedure. Now, this plays right into Eastern View defensive hands, 2nd and long. It looks like we got a official timeout.
Darnell.
4 can't come in because it was a penalty.
Okay, you still got to. You got it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he did, because that didn't count as a play.
There's your backup quarterback coming in, and he's a whole different physique than the starting quarterback, isn't he? And he wants to throw. Here comes some pressure. Watch out. They're going after him. This ball is either going to be an incomplete pass or a fumble. I think it's going to rule it. Arm forward, incomplete pass.
And they ruled incomplete pass, and Mark, Eastern View had fire in their eyes
Yeah,
on
they
that
did.
play. They knew that he wasn't going to run. They knew he was going to try to throw it, and they brought the pressure.
Steve, here's a great opportunity for this Eastern View defense, because they've now forced Hugenot into a 3rd and 27 situation with the ball at Hugenot's 14. They are in danger here, Hugenot, if they don't create some cushion here and avoid a turnover because of what Eastern View can do on a punt.
I'd make sure they're watching number 1, Kevin Gales. That's who they're going to be looking for.
And you figure, and that's not Kevin Gales, that's number 10, Courtney Ross.
Gales on the other side.
Gales top of your screen. Here is 3rd down and 27. Now Ross back in there to throw. He's got a receiver well short of a first down as Eli Harris there, number 8, comes in to make the tackle real quickly near the 25-yard line. And it's going to bring up 4th and an obvious punting situation for Hugenot with the ball at the 25.
It gave Hugenot a little bit better field position to punt the ball, Mark. But again, it looks like Eastern View with Spangler back there, he can be able to advance it. If he can advance it up 15, 20 yards, they're right back in good operating territory.
Well, even if he called a fair catch where he's standing, it'd be at the 40-yard line for
Right.
Eastern View. So you're pretty much guaranteed outstanding field position, of course, barring a miscue. Here's a kick by Gales, and Spangler has to get away from it. Let's see how it bounces. It does take a Falcon roll, and they're going to down it inside the 30-yard line at the 28. average field position for Eastern View here. Cyclones up 7-0, and they'll send their offensive unit back into the field for the second time tonight. With 4:58 to play here in this first quarter, and I'll tell you, this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. And Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. And Steve, apparently we had a penalty marker down, I think against Hugenot.
And what's the call? I didn't see it on the field.
I thought it, by the signal, unless my perception was flawed, I thought it looked like a unsportsmanlike penalty.
And let's see what the call is against Hugenot. And
look for the man in the white hat here to make this call.
see what the...
Here it comes.
Dead ball unsportsmanlike against Hugenot. So somebody said something or something. I don't know.
All right, so the ball had been down at about the 28-yard line, and that's where they mark it off.
So you can add 15 yards.
And so now you're going to have excellent field position for the Cyclones at the 43. Okay, Cyclones back on offense. And already this evening, an injured player already, and it's Mikey Keene on the bench. First and 10 Cyclones from their own 43-yard line. Rock Lawson, the ball carrier. He got across the 45 out to about the 46. They'll hold him to about 3 yards there. 2nd and 7 coming up. Making the tackle for Hugenot was Jamari Culbreth, defensive end, 5'11", 221 pounds. But they really have some size up there in that middle. You got a two-way starter there in number 60, Cameron Boykin, Steve, and he is a big man at 6'3", 390 pounds. That's number 60. Is he the Hugenot's version of the refrigerator?
He is, Mark. He's going to be tough to move out of that trench. I mean, our center's got a tough job.
Well, they run away from him, and this is Ronte Robinson. He got across midfield into Hugenot territory at the 40. Let's see, we're going to check the call here. 30, 35, 40, 43-yard line. And that's a pickup of 10 yards. Ronte Robinson and an Eastern View first down.
Well, Mark, you know what they say, and those big guys up front, they get tired. So what the best way to do, don't run away, run at them. That's what Eastern View's doing, run right at them, make them work. And they're going to get tired.
All right, 1st and 10, Cyclones at the Falcons 43. Till Butler, your signal caller there. Ronte Robinson, the ball carrier. He got behind a good block, and he got inside the 40-yard line, or right at the 40. And they're gonna mark it right at the 40. So they give him 3. It's 2nd and 7 from that spot. 3:35, clock ticking, first quarter. Eastern View 7, Hugenot nothing. First round of this, and technically the quarterfinal round of these region playoffs, as your number 3 seeded Cyclones hosting the number 6 seeded Hugenot Falcons. Winner moves on to play the winner between the Monacan and Dinwiddie game in action. Here's Till Butler. They keep it on the ground. And Robinson doing a nice job of following that lead block. And Hugenot's Raphael Day makes a tackle for the Falcons. Will mark it right at the 36. So he got 4 more yards. And it brings up a very manageable 3rd and 2 for Eastern View. And they've gone predominantly with a run, but they do have the touchdown pass tonight from Till Butler to Alex Spangler. Let's see what they draw up here on 3rd and 2. And they draw up make that Ronte Robinson. I think he's going to be a little shy of a first down, but you're in a situation, obviously, where you can go for it here. It looks like it's going to be about 4th and 1.
And, Mark, he's running behind that offensive line. David Jorgensen, number 65, 70. Big Jason Southern, number 50. Number 50 is Braden Walker. And company up there, 75, Ricky Robinson. They're up there in 78. Number big 78 is Elijah Hoskin. They're running up and behind those boys. They're doing a good job blocking up front.
Steve, we had we're going to have a measurement here. We had the pleasure of meeting Jason Southern's dad before the game tonight.
Nice
Chris
meeting.
Southern. Yeah, it was very nice seeing him. And I always enjoy seeing Blake Leake's parents, Darren and Sharon Leake. And, of course, we mentioned that Blake Leake is out with that fractured thumb. I think he's done for the season, and that's unfortunate. He's been such a terrific player. But these Cyclones are they're filling in the ranks, aren't they?
Yep, they sure are. And they're doing a good job. And, I'm just looking at Mikey King on the side. He's got that ice on the ankle. It might be, you say he probably twisted that ankle. It's got a high ankle sprain, and those can take a little bit long time to heal. But you got to give kudos to the Eastern View Cyclone offensive line up front. They're doing a great job right now in the first quarter, and they're moving that football.
They really are, Steve. It's 1st and 10 now from the 33-yard line. The clock running 2:25 to play. Here's Till Butler, and Butler's going to keep it. Gets behind his blocker, and inside the 30, right at the 29, and he'll pick up 5 yards. And 2nd and 5 coming up here, and I think it's a solid game plan. It's a conservative game plan, but it's working for them, Steve. They're running right at them. As you pointed out, the offensive line is doing a great job, and this is something that they could probably do all night.
Here they are. They want to keep Hugenot's offense off the field. They can play this ball control, even though they found something. They think they can run against Hugenot, and they're proving it tonight.
All right. And they go back here to Ronte Robinson. He's going to be denied that 25-yard line, but he'll pick up about 3 yards as Hugenot's Fleming Geron makes a tackle for the Falcons. Looks like they have it marked at the 27. So he only picked up 2 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3. And we're approaching the 1:20 mark here of this first quarter. Here's Butler. Then they go back to Robinson. Robinson loses it, but he may have been down by contact. Let's check the call.
They're saying he was down by contact.
They're going to be right at the 25-yard line. He's going to be a little bit shy of that first down marker.
Marquetta score, Louisa 28, King George 6 at the half.
Well, King George started out well, 6-0, but then it must have awoken a giant, right?
He did.
Ball at the 26-yard line. It's 4th and 2. Under a minute to play. First quarter action. 7-0 Cyclones. And they're driving for more. Butler going to keep it. Makes a nice cut there, and then he's upended inside that 20-yard line. That'll be a first down for Butler and his teammates.
And it's a Cyclone first down mark, and all Eastern View's doing is just following their blocks and looking the way the flow is, and good run there by Till Butler. He just waited for his block up front, led by number 75, Ricky Robinson on that play. Boom, first down.
And as you pointed out, the offensive line doing a nice job tonight for Eastern View. And 25 seconds to play, clock ticking first quarter. This could be the last play of this first quarter here. As Till Butler and the long snap count. And looks at the game clock and the play clock. He's down to 5 seconds and counting. He gets it off in time. Here's Rock Lawson. This time he runs into a stone wall, and they stop him for no gain on the play. Several Hugenot players in there to make the tackle, including number 52, Jeremiah Chambers. And the clock has expired. So we've played the first quarter here at Cyclone Stadium. Where it is, Cyclones 7, Falcons of Hugenot nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back for the start of the second. Right after this, keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. You're watching Cyclones football.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best.
Mama Mae's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama Mae's.
UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. Cyclones Stadium is the place, and we are beginning the second quarter of action here with the Cyclones out in front 7-0 and in control of the ball. They have it 2nd and 10 at the Falcons' 19-yard line. And after this play, we want to mention Eastern View's girls field hockey team for their accomplishments, and we're going to be playing for the state championship soon, and they were just recognized a moment ago. But I want to get back to that here in just a moment. Here on 2nd and 10 at the 19-yard line. Teal Butler, here's his throw. He's got Spangler on the slant. Inside slant and then into that end zone for a touchdown.
Shut the windows, lock the front doors, batten down the hatches. This is a Cyclone touchdown. Again, the combination of Till Butler to Alex Spangler. How many yards, Mark?
19 yards.
19 yards. There you go. Touchdown.
Second PD pass from Butler to Spangler tonight. 13-0, 11:54 to play second quarter. And now Butler will hold for Garrett Hutchinson and his point after kick. And Hutchinson's kick is up and good. 14-0 our score. 6 seconds into the second quarter. There's a scoreboard clock there and everything that goes with it. Let's talk about that Eastern View field hockey team, Steve.
Yeah, they beat Lee Davis in the state semifinals 7-1 this afternoon at South County High School in Lorton, Virginia, in Fairfax County. They got a game tomorrow for the finals against Great Bridge in a rematch of last year's state semifinal won by Eastern View, and of a 2-1 and I think in overtime last year. And now they go back and face Great Bridge in the finals this year. Great Bridge defeated Chancellor, which Chancellor's beaten Eastern View 3 out of 4 times this year. They beat Chancellor 2-1 in overtime, so now it's Great Bridge against Eastern View tomorrow for a state championship in field hockey.
Congratulations.
At South County High School in Fairfax in Lorton, Virginia.
All right, so congratulations to Eastern View's field hockey team for a great season, and of course they have a chance now to cap it with a state championship. This kick over the head, the return man there, Markel Ross.
He does look like Diego Hunter.
Yeah, he does. He does remind us of Diego Hunter.
And Diego's starting now as a kick returner and specialist for Towson. He's doing pretty good. He's already had a touchdown run for kickoff run for a touchdown.
Good for Diego Hunter. We miss seeing him play. Well, you know, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530.
I see Mikey King. Is he still on the bench? I don't see him in there at the linebacker spot, so I still think he's
standing right here about midway in that pack on the sideline, number 44. All right, Hugenot back on offense from the 20-yard line. And here's the handoff to the running back straight ahead. Hosea Cofield gets out to the 25 and got behind that big blocker there, Derek Stark, 6'3", 330.
They got some beef up front on that offensive line, don't they?
Well, Steve, how important is it if you're the Hugenot Falcons to put together a sustaining drive right here, even if you don't score? I mean, to be able to show that you can move the ball consistently.
Well, that's what they want to do. They're a dangerous team, Mark, offensively. They got some skilled players, and each of you knows it. So this ball game is not over by any stretch of the means.
All right, here's Mason, the quarterback. This one's picked off, and it's picked off by Rock Lawson, and he's into the end zone for the score.
You got to lock the front door, shut the windows, batten down the hatches. It's a Cyclone touchdown. Rock Lawson with the interception, and right in for the touchdown mark. And now Eastern View leads 20-0.
Well, just like we were saying, you know, how important is it? Well, you said they were dangerous, and Mason went to pass. But the thing is, he's had a good year, but that was his 9th interception this season, and Rock Lawson made him pay on a pick six. 20-0, 11:02 to play here in this second quarter.
And that was read perfectly. They read that on film. And, of course, you said in the pregame their quarterback, we were talking before the game went on, has a propensity to throw interceptions, and he just threw one right there. And
in contrast, this kick is blocked. A rare miss for Garrett Hutchinson. Not much you can do about that. Well, he came into tonight's game 57 of 62 on extra point attempts, and he's attempted 3 tonight, and he's 2 of 3. But, so Mason, Darnell Mason, the Hugenot quarterback, has thrown 19 touchdown passes, but he's also thrown 8 interceptions. And in contrast, Till Butler of Eastern View, he's had some really good numbers this year, and let's take a look at those. So he comes into tonight's game. Till Butler, 63 106 pass attempts. That's a completion rate of 59.4%. 25 touchdowns, but here's the sharp contrast. He's only had 1 interception.
Yeah, he's taking care of the football. He's done an excellent job, Mark, all season long. And again, that's what, you threw an interception like that, you just took out any wind out of your sails out of your offense right there, giving it up like that, and quick score by Eastern View. Now they're up 20-0, but they still got to keep their foot on the gas pedal, as Coach Hatfield likes to say, because you don't want this team to come back.
Here's the kick, and Ross gets under it near the 5-yard line. He's at the 10, 15, and tackled short of the 20-yard line. Making a nice tackle for the Eastern View special teams was number 55, Caleb Wynn. Well, you talk about Hugenot being a dangerous team. They come into tonight's game with a record of 6-4. They were most recently in action last week. They played Powhatan, and they came from behind to beat Powhatan 20-14. Powhatan finished the year at 5-5. Hugenot at 6-4. And so if you're Hugenot, I think psychologically, Steve, you're in kind of a rut here because you remember you start this game late. You have a very late arrival to the stadium, and then maybe you feel like you're sort of having to rush things to get ready, and then now you find yourself in an opponent's the opposing stadium, if you will, and you're already down 20-0, and you're not even at the midway mark in the second quarter, so they can ill afford to make any more mistakes, is my point.
You're right, Mark, and they came up here, being late and rush off the bus. It kind of throws off your rhythm and your timing, and again, Eastern View right now is making Hugenot pay, but that's what good teams do, and Eastern View is just got the next man stepped up mentality with a few stars out injured, and they're doing a good job.
Okay, here's Mason stepping up. Now he's hit. And now he's sacked for a huge loss. And getting to him there, big number, 78 for Eastern View, Elijah Hoskin. And I'll tell you what, if you're Eastern View's defense, you got to feel pretty good about where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, now you got them into a 3rd and long mark, deep in their own territory. So Eastern View's just got to keep everybody in front of you. You just got to watch out for number 1. Number 1's their go-to player, and he's their one that can turn a game around in a second. He's their wide receiver, Kevin Scales. But, they just got to do a good job and, see if they can put pressure on the quarterback.
Well, he lost 8 yards on the sack, and it's 3rd and 17 now for Darnell Mason, the quarterback, and his teammates. Empty backfield now for Mason on 3rd down and 17. I think they're going to blow the whistle and have stoppage here. Either someone called a timeout. Okay, so I think Hugenot called a timeout, and they did. And so with that, we'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by Able Heating and Air, able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. And Mama Mae's, our new location on Sperryville Pike, offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mae's, 829-9200. And UVA Community Credit Union, your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union, 888-887-9136. Timeout on the field, 9:22 to play, second quarter action, and it has been all Cyclones so far, up 20-0. And now they have forced Hugenot into a 3rd and 18 situation. The Falcons have the ball perilously here at their own 9-yard line. Here's Mason, the quarterback. Here comes the pressure. He gets away from the first defender and the second, but not the third and fourth, as they sack him again for a loss at the 5-yard line. And that was Hoskin again in with Jordan Breckley for the sack. And now it's fourth, and they pushed him back a few more yards to the 5-yard line, Steve. That's going to bring up fourth down and 21 yards. And you know, you got to be thinking, I know you like to go for the block here, but I'm always thinking when you got Alex Spangler back there, you know, he can light it up and take it to the house.
He can light it up, but a block will put you in a touchdown if you get it here. So, yeah.
This is where Steve and I were on the same coaching staff. There'd be a little conflict. Steve says, Mark, let's go for the block. I said, no, let's set up the return.
The block brings some, you know, I just like it. Just go for it.
Yeah. So Gales is the punter. It's going to be a short kick, but it's going to take a Hugenot bounce. Spangler had to get away from it. Maybe you're right. Maybe it should have gone from the block. Takes a nice falcon roll down to the 40-yard line. Still outstanding field position for Eastern View, but if you're Sean Gales, you got to like the fact you just kicked a 60-yard punt.
That's right. I mean, you just did, and you got your team out of a hole. That's why I'm saying you don't want to have that punter to get a good chance to get off a good punt. So many things we can go right for the block, but again, Eastern View's they're happy way their offense is working and doing a good job.
So, tell us, the viewing audience, Steve, 20-0 Eastern View, 8:21 to play here in the second quarter. If they were just tuning in, what will you tell them that you like about Eastern View so far tonight?
Balanced offense. Well, I mean, based on their power game and the way they're controlling it on offense and just keeping Huguenot's offense off the field and doing a heck of a job defensively, swarming to the football.
Oh, the ball is loose, and let's see who's got it. Could be Sean Gales. Hugenot it is, and that started with a faulty exchange between Butler and I believe Rock Lawson. It looked like maybe it was going to be a play fake to Lawson, and the ball left the grasp of Butler, went to the ground as a fumble. Then it was up for grabs, and Hugenot comes up with his first turnover of the game, hoping to reverse the tide here.
Yeah, Mark, that was the first turnover of the game. That's by Eastern View, and that was a dropped. Yeah, I mean, of course, Hugenot's got the interception turnover. Now Eastern View gives it up right there. And that looked like Till Butler wanted to pull it out the last second, and Rock Lawson, and it just ripped out of his hands.
All right, so Hugenot in business here at the Eastern View 37. Mason a little bit in trouble. Now he throws it. This one's picked off. And would you believe it's Alex Spangler? Yeah, he kind of does that a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
High stepping at the 20-yard line and now at the 25. And I tell you what, so Eastern View fumbles it, and then on the first play on offense, Hugenot throws it second interception, and this one by Spangler. He gives the ball back to the Cyclones. What did they lose in this exchange, Steve? A matter of what, about 10 yards?
Yeah, about 10 yards in the exchange right there on the interception by Alex Spangler. Want to say to our viewing audience, due to some technical difficulties, we can't watch replays tonight, but that was a great interception by Alex Spangler, Mark.
Sure was. Brings the ball out to the 26-yard line after Hugenot had taken over at the Eastern View 37 off the fumble. So Cyclones just like that get it back, and that means Till Butler and company. Now, have we mentioned, we have mentioned Ricky Robson's name tonight, playing on that left tackle position. You go to the ground. Rock Lawson straight ahead to the 30, pick up a 4 yards, making the tackle for Hugenot was number 42, Chidi Akinwafer. It's a tough name.
You did a good job. Did better than I would. 42.
It's a little more complex than
Chidi.
Bob Smith.
Yeah, a little bit.
30-yard line is the mark. 2nd and 6. Clock runs. 7:30 to play. Second quarter action. Eastern View 20, Hugenot 0. And at the top of your screen goes number 8, Eli Harris. Here comes pressure by Hugenot. Well, they come forward to back off. They backpedal as Rock Lawson gets the ball carry. Shook off the first defender. Got across the 35, out to about the 36 or 37. This should be another Eastern View first down.
Yep, they're moving the sticks, Mark.
And they've been doing that tonight. Well, I'll tell you, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. clock continues to run just under that 7-minute mark here in the second quarter. Eastern View with a new set of downs at its own 37-yard line. Pressure by Hugenot. Jill Butler looks to the side.
I noticed something. Look, 99 is in the H-back position. Jordan Dotson usually plays defense. Look, and they just had to call timeout again lined up with Drew Serena. That's the first time we've seen it this year.
Yeah, good eye, and they call a timeout. Maybe a little confusion on the offensive side of things, and an opportunity to tell you about our generous supporters, including CFC Farm Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. All right, so tonight's winner will move on to next week's game against either Monacan or Dinwiddie. Who do you like objectively in the Monacan-Dinwiddie game, Steve?
Well, Monacan's going to be favored, but Dinwiddie was leading. I got to get an update, see what the score is. But we prefer that Dinwiddie upsets Monacan because that means if Eastern View, the score holds up, we'll have another home game playoff here next Friday here at Eastern View Stadium, Cyclones Stadium. If Monacan wins, they're number 2 seed. We'll be traveling to Chesterfield County outside Richmond.
We'll be on the road again?
On the road again.
You'd rather play at home?
I would.
As would this team, I'm sure. And it's very faithful fans who come out in droves to support them. After the timeout, Till Butler has it 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Rock Lawson, the ball carrier. Good play fake by Butler because the defenders stayed with him, 2 or 3 of them, as Lawson found a little bit of an opening. Got across that 40 out to the 42. 5 yards in the play, and you'll take that any time, won't you, when you bring up a 2nd and 5?
Absolutely, and they're running that power package, Mark, like we said. Got big Jordan Dotson up there in that H-back position, but he's replacing Mikey King in that position. And they're running, that's a new wrinkle they're running right behind him. It's a good idea.
2nd down and 5. 6 minutes to play, second quarter. Till Butler. Here is Rock Lawson breaking the tackle and got past midfield. Hugenot territory at the 47 and another 1st down. That is a pickup of 19 yards on the play. Strike that. 11 yards in the play.
It keeps those chains moving, Mark.
Sure does. And the clock moving as well. All right, 2 receivers to the left. They stay on the ground game, and why not? As Lawson gets just shy of the 40-yard line, he'll pick up 6 yards and brings up a 2nd and 4.
And here comes the B for Hugenot.
Isn't that something? Take a look there, number 60. He's weighing in at 150 pounds.
That's just his leg.
That's just one leg. Well, number 60 is Cameron Boykins. He's a senior. He's 6'3", 390 pounds. They probably call him Biscuit because he's a biscuit shy of 400 pounds. It's Till Butler. Nice run here down to the 35-yard line and a 1st down. Well, you remember the old Chicago Bears that won the Super Bowl in January of '86?
Yep.
Following that phenomenal '85 season. One of their players was Dan Hampton, and he was a defensive lineman.
Right.
And he nicknamed somebody, I think it was
William Refrigerator Patery?
Yeah, but I think he called him Biscuit. He said he was like a biscuit shy of 300 pounds or something. Yeah.
Well, Mark, got a trivia question for you now. We got a little timeout
Well,
here.
we love trivia time. At least we do.
He recently passed away this week. He was backup quarterback for a legendary quarterback. Played for the Green Bay Packers from 1963 to 1968, and then he played from 1969 to 71 with I think the Chicago Bears. Who is he?
Oh my gosh! And so he, I hadn't read that someone had died this week. He was a former
88 years old,
former NFL player. So he played for the Packers in the '60s, and
he played. He led him to the championship in 1966 because Bart Starr was injured. Not the first Super Bowl. This is
right. 66. Let's see. So not Bart Starr.
He's the backup to Bart Starr. Legendary. He's in the Packer Hall of Fame. I'll give you another hint. That's
Okay, I'm going to guess his last name was, was it Zeke Bartkowski?
You're a savant. I'm give up.
I really didn't know he had died.
Zeke Bartkowski just died on Wednesday.
Zeke Bartkowski. Wow, there's another blast in the past. Sorry to hear about his passing. We've lost several players in recent times, haven't we?
Yep.
2 or 3 of those guys were in their early 70s, and I'll tell you, one was Cliff Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Great wide receiver for the Raiders, consummate professional.
For the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah. Cliff Branch. How about Jim Langer, played center for the Miami Dolphins? And he was like early 70s too. So, wow.
56 to.
Wow.
56 to.
We were just listening to the scores. Patrick Henry of Ashland is
whipping up on.
Really walloping Spotsylvania down there. Rock Lawson lowered his shoulder, tried to spin away from Sean Gales. Couldn't do it, but still picked up a few yards. Brings up a 3rd and short here. 3rd and 1 to be exact. We are under the 4-minute mark here at Cyclone Stadium late in the second quarter, and Eastern View up 20-0. Ball is at the 27, and it's 3rd and 2, or 3rd and 1 rather. Butler going to keep it. Butler will have a first down as he gets down to the, it's like about the 20-yard line.
First down.
It is the 20-yard line. He picked up 7 yards.
And again, Mark, Eastern View is just content to run this football and keep moving the chains. But I keep looking on the sideline down there for Blake Leake's senior year to be out injured and the rest of the season over with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just it's heartbreaking. I feel for him.
Yeah, really do. Remember, he's the signed to play at Buck now. Rock Lawson picks up another 5 yards on the night. Is Hugenot maybe wearing down a little bit up front there, Steve? They're getting up slowly from the ground.
They're wearing down because a lot of them are going both ways, Mark, in the offensive line, and they're getting tired right now, and Eastern View's just dominating them. I didn't think, I said it was going to be a closer game, but right now it just looks like Hugenot didn't show up to play tonight.
Yeah, we mentioned David Jorgensen's name. He's in there at that right tackle position. Here is 2nd down and 4, Cyclones at the Falcon 15. High snap. Butler able to retrieve it, hold on to it, and he's tackled at the 20 for a loss of 5 yards. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9. And we may have. Do we have a penalty here?
We have a penalty here against. Looks like it's going to be against Hugenot. See what the call is.
Here it comes. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Falcons, and rather than being 3rd and 9, I think we're going to have a first down for Eastern View.
Yeah, they're going to move it 15 yards, and that's just sign right there. The team's starting to come unglued a little bit defensively, and now the officials are going to move it, and they're going to be 15 yards after that 5-yard sack.
If they move it 15, that's going to push the ball down to the 5-yard line.
Yep. And it is. Oh, they give them half the distance, didn't they? They moved it to 10.
All right, so it is at the 10. And that's where it's 1st and goal. Now from the 10. Start thinking that may be a frustration foul if you're Hugenot. Go back to Lawson here. Lawson dives forward close to the 5-yard line.
And they're just going to be handed off, Mark, and just trust that big offensive line. Dude, look at David Jorgensen there, 65. Big number 70 for Eastern View is Jason Southern and company, and Hoskins and Ricky Robinson. They're doing the job up front.
From the 6-yard line. That's where it's 2nd and goal. We got movement right side. I think Jorgensen might have been a little bit too quick out of the gate.
Looks like David jumped just a little bit.
Push him back 5 to the 11. It'll be 2nd and goal from there.
They're going dope.
Too late.
But now, but they're still in Hutchinson's, Garrett Hutchinson's field goal range if they don't come here without a first down. They're 2nd and goal, aren't they?
Yeah, they got it 2nd and goal from the 11, so they got 2 downs here punch it in before they even think about Garrett Hutchinson. Boy, this team can play. They got to be thinking touchdown. Here's Lawson. Watch out. Getting to the outside. There goes Lawson in from 11 yards out.
Shut the windows, lock the front doors, batten down the hatches. Rock Lawson in for a Cyclone touchdown from 11 yards out.
And what were you saying about? We got a penalty
penalty.
flag down.
See what the call is. It might be against Eastern View. See what the call is.
It's that'll negate that. It's not a dead ball, it's a holding call. And they got to repeat second down after they mark it off here. All right. I was going to ask you, what were you saying about Garrett Hutchinson? Well, they may still need him yet.
Yep, now it brings it all the way down.
That changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it brings it down to the 16-yard line. I'd like to know who that holding call was on, but because they had it pretty much, I thought they had that end spot sealed.
So now it's second and goal from the 16-yard line.
Now you got to find Alex Spangler.
You know, I was thinking the very same thing. Of course, you got some other receivers top of your screen. Eli Harris for one. Play action. Here's Butler throwing, and he did try to hook up with Spangler. Spangler maybe had a half step, and the ball was overthrown. Brings up third and goal now from the 16, and if you don't get it here, you would be thinking about Hutchinson, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because he could put it in and be 23-0 if he can connect here. But they're going to now brings up, what, third down here?
Third and goal from the 16, yeah.
Well, you got to throw it to the end zone because you can't pick up a first down, so.
Mm-hmm.
Final score, Salem 58 and Amherst 13.
All right, Drew Sharina's in there. Till Butler, the quarterback, he's got Rock Lawson on his left. Third and goal from the 16. Play action, looking, receiver on the slant here, and this is into the end zone. It is Alex Spangler. You just called his name.
Yep. Shut the front doors, lock the front doors, shut the windows, batten down the hatches. It is a Cyclone touchdown. Butler to Spangler on the slant. It wasn't really a slant. It was like a bubble screen.
16 yards. You know, Spangler, he just makes it look so effortless out there, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Very fluid.
Now they're going for two here, or they're going to go for one?
Well, they're lined up to go for the point after,
Yeah.
26-0, with 1:16 to play. I'm not liking my prediction so far now. I had it closer. I had Eastern View by what?
17.
17 points, already 26. I was factoring in the fact that Chance Graves and Blake Leak were both out. Hugenot had some dangerous players. Oh, it's a little fake here, and he connects with Drew Sharina for two. How about that?
Wow, that was a heck of a play right there.
You got to like that if you're Eastern View. Well, they dialed that one up, and they executed it to perfection. They had that one figured out all the way. Hutchinson lined up, and your holder's your quarterback, so why not? And you got Drew Sharina in there, 2-point conversion, just 28-0, 1:16 to play.
They executed that perfectly. Till Butler just rises up and just throws it to wide open Drew Sharina. And Drew was just making sure he caught the ball.
Yeah. Well, I think Drew knows what to do with it, doesn't he?
Yep.
28-0, Cyclones. Quarterfinal game of this 4B region playoff. And if the situation remains constant, nothing out of the ordinary happens, you're going to have an Eastern View winner tonight and be looking at playing either Monacan or Dinwiddie next week.
I know Dinwiddie Monacan didn't even update.
Here's Garrett Hutchinson's kick. Keeps this one short. Fair catch called for and made at about the 20-yard line. That's where Hugenot will set up on offense. And Steve Peacock, Hugenot Falcons down 28-0 here late in this first half. If they're going to have any chance of getting back in this football game, they've got to make a statement here late in the second quarter.
They do, Mark. And it's going to be hard for Hugenot now in this game. I want to give you an update. Liberty won their first-round quarterfinal game, defeating Loudoun County at home, so they move on in the Region 4C playoffs. And it'd be interesting if Liberty were to make it all the way in Eastern View and they meet in the semifinals. Wouldn't that be something?
Really would. It could happen.
Yep.
Hugenot keeps this one on the ground.
And your Salem Spartans are rolling along. They Amherst made the playoffs with a 2-9 record.
Yeah, they're not.
I mean,
not,
2-8.
Not a good year for Amherst. Raphael Day, the ball carrier there. I'll tell you who Salem's going to have to really contend with deep in their playoff scenario is going to be EC Glass.
Yep.
That might be the best team in that region right now. All right, down to the final 45 seconds here in this second quarter. It's 2nd and 8 for the Falcons from their own 24-yard line. Darnell Mason here, the quarterback. Here comes the pressure. He spins away from it. Now he's going to throw on the run. This one incomplete as Gales went up for it, got his hand on it, and then it was broken up by Alex Spangler on the play. And Spangler timed that one real nicely.
He sure did, Mark. And it was a good defensive play by Alex Spangler. 32 seconds here to go here in the second quarter.
Well, you talked about how dangerous this Sean Gales, number 1, the receiver, is for Hugenot. You know, he's a Division I prospect, and he comes into tonight's game with 27 catches, 557 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So, you know they're going to try to get the ball to him at some point. They tried there unsuccessfully. But it's 3rd and 8 now for the Falcons from their own 24, and they have 32.5 seconds to play in the second quarter. Clock currently stopped off the incomplete pass. Mason wants to throw again, and he's throwing near side. This one coming up on it there was Spangler again. He got his hand on it. His timing is just phenomenal, isn't it?
Yep, he sure was. But he had a long, that quarterback had to throw it all the way out to the sideline, so Spangler had a long way to run to deflect that ball, but almost got, was looking for another interception.
Well, now it's 4th and 8, Hugenot, and even though they're down 28-0, likely they would punt here, don't you think?
You would think, because you don't want to give Eastern View, they're going to call timeout to discuss it, because Eastern View's got a heck of a field goal kicker.
But see, this is where I agree with you, where you would go for the block.
Yep.
When you're in this situation. All right, with the timeout, we'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. I'm hearing jungle sounds in the background, Steve. What's up with that?
In the third quarter, Dinwiddie 42, Monacan 20.
Wow. Steve was really tuned in to the scores, and this is a key one. Dinwiddie 42, Monacan 20.
At the fourth quarter.
And if that holds true, then Dinwiddie would come here next week, assuming, of course, Eastern View wins tonight's game, and they're certainly.
Well, Eastern View's familiar with Dinwiddie. We've been playing them for the last 3 years in the region playoffs, so they're coming up here, and they're going to be wanting revenge against the Cyclones after what we did to them last year. Of course, they beat us the year before that, so it's going to be interesting to have. Looks like right now, they're in the fourth quarter, 42-20. Looks like we'll be entertaining the Dinwiddie Generals. Hopefully up here at Cyclone Stadium. That'd be a football game, Mark.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. Of course, we've got another half year to play, and ball is at the 30-yard line. 16.2 seconds to play. What do you dial up here if you're Eastern View? What do you want to do before this intermission?
Well, if I were Eastern View, I'd try to go for it, hit a long pass, and go up. Try to go up 35-0 with their running clock in the second half.
Well, that's a consideration.
Yeah, because it started late. I mean, we started over an hour late, hour and 5 minutes late. Hugenot was late getting here, and that also has to, really upset your football team, because they got out of their routine. They had to come off the bus dressed and ready to go. And
yeah, upsets your rhythm. Look who's playing this nose guard position there.
The Beef.
Yeah. You want to know where the Beef is? He's wearing jersey number 60, I think. And his name is Cameron Boykins. And Butler will take a knee. And Cyclones will be content to let this clock expire here in the second quarter. And both teams head to the locker rooms for the intermission with the Cyclones well out in front, 28-0. That's our score at the half. We'll take a break, and we'll come back for the third quarter kickoff. Stay tuned. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best.
Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast and the start of the second half. And Hugenot will be kicking off to the Cyclones, who lead 28-0. And I know what you're thinking, Steve Peacock. If Easton View could get a score here and go up by 35 points, we'd have a continuously running clock. And that would shorten the evening sun, considering we got up to such a late start here tonight.
Right, and there would, Mark, and it's already, I just want to announce a final. Dinwiddie 49, Modican 27. So all Eastern View's got to do right here is hold on to this score and win out tonight in this second half, complete the second half, and we'll have a second round home game against the Dinwiddie Generals for the third year in a row in the regional playoffs.
We've been down to Dinwiddie to play, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been to Dinwiddie, then we played them last year in the regional final and won at Hugenot, and now we get them coming up here.
That's right. Wow. All right, trying to pull the wool over Eastern View's eyes there, eh?
Yep, trying to see if they're going to do an onside kick. They still might, so be unaware, be on the lookout for it. I would try it down 28-0.
I guess this is Gales kicking. Kick straight away here.
Offside against looks like Hugenot's going to be offside, so we're going to knock him back 5 yards.
Spangler heaves it back downfield. Good looking pass, actually.
Yeah.
And so Gales now will tee it up from the 35-yard line. So 28-0 here we start the third quarter. And really, you want to talk about the scoring. Till Butler, 3 touchdown passes to Alex Spangler, 33, 19, and 16 yards. And the other touchdown by Rock Lawson on a pick 6 from 25 yards. And the 2-point conversion by Drew Sharina. And 3 point afters by Garrett Hutchinson. And that's how we get to 28. And Hugenot really hasn't threatened tonight at all, not in that first half offensively. Eli Harris, the return man here, brings it out close to the 45-yard line. And so Eastern View's offense, outstanding field position as they set up shop here in the third quarter.
In good field position, like you said, Mark, and now Eastern View is going to go that ball control offense, run that clock, use that running game that was used so effectively in the first half against this Falcon defense. And right now, you just look over at Hugenot and they just look down. They're not really no pep in their step and just kind of like they just want to get out of here. They're up here, you know, they got a long bus ride back home, about 80, 85 miles, and they're right now they're not playing with any energy. And see if the dagger can be thrown here by Eastern View.
And Eastern View starts this on their own 44-yard line. Butler will keep it on the ground. Rock Lawson, maybe a yard on the play. As Hugenot's number 58, Jeremiah Prince, makes the tackle.
And Mark,
They give him a yard.
I was getting ready to watch. I've noticed Hugenot's loading the box really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You could sit there and do a play action and send Spangler just on a slant right over the middle like he's been doing. It's there all night long. I mean, you watch what they're doing. Look what the defense is.
Or your H-back there, you mentioned.
Yeah, there's nobody in the back. Look at nobody.
Mm-hmm. 2nd and 9. They keep it on the ground. This is Lawson. Got behind the offensive players, gets in the open field. It's a foot race, and no one will catch Lawson as he goes 55 yards for the score.
Lock the front door and shut the windows. Batten down the hatches. It's a 50-yard run by Rock Lawson. Touchdown, Cyclones!
34-0. Opening minute of this third quarter, and now this point after. I'm going to call it crucial because if Hutchinson connects here, it's 35-0.
It's 35-0, be a running clock. And the other thing is, Mark, that, like I said, there was nobody deep in the backfield. That was just so easy. If you get to that first level, he's gone. Rock Lawson proved it.
Butler the holder, Hutchinson the kicker. Here's the snap and the hold and the kick, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. It is 35-0 in favor of the Cyclones. 11:03 to play here in the third quarter, and looks like Eastern View is going to win tonight, barring a major miracle on the part of Hugenot. I don't see that one coming, and if this holds true, then Eastern View, as you pointed out, would host the second round. It'll be a region semifinal game next week. And it'll be Dinwiddie because Dinwiddie beat Modican earlier tonight. Well, you know, this broadcast is made possible by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union, 888-887-9136. And Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. Garrett Hutchinson has teed it up, and here is his kick. End over end. This one's going to bounce and go out of bounds, and that'll be a penalty against Eastern View, and Hugenot's offense will set up from its own 35-yard line, trailing 35-0. Steve, if you're a Hugenot's coach, what are you going to do right here?
Well, you're going to have to air it out, Mark. I mean, how are you going to come back? You're not going to come back with the running game, and the clock's going to continue to run here as soon as they set the ball down. And it's going to, like I said, Hugenot, what showed me with their team is on that extra point, they were really trying to block it in the previous touchdown plays. But guess what? They didn't even try on that extra point. They just kind of let them kick it. That shows me that team's basically given up. They just want to go home.
Yeah. Don't really seem to have any fight in them at this point. Darnell Mason remains the quarterback. And the running back has nowhere to go. So Hugenot's Gregory Jackson stopped for a loss as Eastern View's defense strung this one out very nicely and forced a 2-yard loss in the play.
And again, you're just going to see Eastern View with their ears pinned back, Mark, and they're just going to come after it.
Talk about a contingency running clock. That's what we have now in action. As Hugenot has it 2nd and 13 now from its own 32.
And I'm trying to see where Mikey King is. I don't see him out in the field. I'm trying to look on the sideline. I know he probably went to dressed in his civilian clothes because he's probably giving his night off with that ankle.
Here's Mason. Oh, this one incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. He had it out there. That was intended for number 10, Courtney Ross. And just unable to come up with it. Well, we got 3rd and 12 now for the Falcons from their own 33. And again, even with the incomplete pass, the clock continues to run. So, this one's going to move very quickly.
Yep.
Unless, of course, Hugenot comes here and scores, and then it goes back to the conventional running. Send 2 receivers to the near side, one top of your screen. Darnell Ross is the quarterback. Cyclones show pressure. Ross throwing. He's got an open man out there, wide open at the 45-yard line. Was the little fella Monquel Ross. He came in tonight with some great statistics. If these are accurate, 43 catches, 693 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I mean, that's even almost twice what Kevin Gales has at 27 catches. Your Division I prospect Kevin Gales. You talked about Tennessee and Old Dominion both expressing interest in number 1, Sean Gales of Hugenot, their wide receiver. He's also punted and kicked the ball tonight for his team. And here it is on 4th and 13, and it's Gales.
Quick kick.
Spangler, will he be able to get under it? No, he's going to let it bounce away from him. Didn't have much of an opportunity there. It'll take a Falcon roll, and they're going to down it at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, but see, the only time the clock stops on change of possession, so that's what's going to happen there. They'll put the ball down. They'll run the clock again as soon as they set it.
All right. Well, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. And their CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. 8:42 to play here in the third quarter. Cyclones 35, the Falcons of Hugenot nothing. And so, barring a major catastrophe or miracle, depending on your persuasion, Eastern View's going to get a win tonight and play Dinwiddie next week in the region semifinals. Dinwiddie a big winner over Monacan in tonight's matchup between those two teams. And Rock Lawson gets out to the 20-yard line. He picked up 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up, and the ever-moving clock continues.
And I don't think you're going to see Eastern View put the ball in the air very much. I think they're going to try to be content running football and try to get out of here with get into fourth quarter, get some of the reserves in playing so they don't get some of their starters injured before next week. They already lost Mikey King for this evening with a sprained ankle, 44, and Blake Leak, their all-state receivers out for the season, broken thumb, and Chance Graves, another all-region, second-team All-State, candidate player out with a torn-up knee. So, but this just shows what the depth that Eastern View has in big win tonight.
Whistle and stoppage, and likely a 5-yard penalty.
A 5-yard penalty.
Hugenot's number 52 there.
Yeah, he took a shot.
Jeremiah Chambers.
Yeah, he took a shot underneath the chin, right there. But I mean, looks like he'll be all right. But it's going to be against. That's going to be against Eastern View. And they're going to try to see if 52 can help him off the field. I think he might have got cut.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened.
Or his finger. He's looking at his finger. It's his finger.
Maybe got stepped on.
Yeah.
That hurts, especially when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Okay, after the 5-yard penalty against the Cyclones, they now have it 2nd and 9 from their 15-yard line. Clock running, 7:40 and counting, third quarter. Go back to the run. Change in direction, making their pretty good cut with Rock Lawson. Got across the 20 out to about the 22. That's a pickup of 7.
Lawson on the carry.
And bring up 3rd down and 2.
Big 3rd down and 2 play. Like I said, Eastern View is just content to let this clock just keep going and going and going.
And I have to admit, I'm grateful for it because we had a late start.
Yeah.
And it makes for an even later night.
And we're going to have a penalty against Eastern View here for a false start, looks like.
Flags on the play.
And we'll see what the call is by the official. Looks like somebody left early. And this will be against Eastern View. So instead of 3rd and 2, it's going to be bring up. Is that offside? Oh, it is. Offside against. Whoa.
That'll give an automatic. That'll give him a first down because it was 3rd and 2. And that'll move it out to the 27 for Eastern View. But usually when it's offside against the defense, don't they let them play on?
It depends. Unless he was lined up in the neutral zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 1st and 10 Cyclones from their own 27. They stick with the run. This is Lawson. And he'll get out maybe to the 28. Just a yard on the play. Several Falcons in on the tackle, including number 59, Jeremiah Prince. You want to know who the biggest player on the field is tonight? A fellow by the name of Cameron Boykins. Wears jersey number 60 for Hugenot. And this guy's big. He's 6'3", and he's 390 pounds.
And they're not in. Their beef isn't in because they're playing both ways, and I think them boys have been worn out a little bit. They're on the sidelines over there by the water cooler.
Second down and 8 now. For Eastern View, Butler play action. He's got a receiver out there. It's Spangler on the slant. And he'll be real close to another first down.
Yeah, he almost broke it, Mark. I think
Yeah.
they defensed a little bit well. They saw a little bit coming. They almost defensed it pretty well, but now brings up 3rd and 1. Because, the way Hugenot's loading that box up, you just got to get the second level and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play a deep safety at all.
Well, Rock Lawson on their last series had that 55-yard touchdown run. He goes at it again here. He'll have a first down as Lawson gets up to the 40. He only needed a yard. He picked up 4.
Now the clock will stop because they got injured.
Hugenot player.
Hugenot player. Ridge. And they're
Fireman's carry.
And the
and that who that is? Epincino Cosby.
that's carrying him over his shoulder. That's pretty. That's pretty. I've never seen a player taken off that way.
Fireman's carry. Mm-hmm.
But that's a first. But they won 7-1 against Lee Davis. They play Great Bridge tomorrow for the 4A state championship at South County High School in Lorton, Virginia, and Fairfax County.
I know everyone's heard
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Now, I know everyone's heard of Al Pacino, but the player who was injured was not Al Pacino. It was El Pacino Cosby. Don't confuse them. Hope he's okay, but he was carried off with the fireman's carry. A unique touch. Used that move in wrestling a lot as Eli Harris comes to the near side, gets out to about 45, and fireman's carry in the slang, a lot of wrestlers call that a fireman's dump.
Fireman's dump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and rescues fireman's carry. That's how they haul people out of burning homes.
Yeah, that's named.
Hence the fireman's carry.
Yeah, it's really a good way to carry someone. Out to the 46-yard line, 2nd and 4. Remember, we've got a continuously moving clock here. Under 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Rock Lawson, the ball carrier. Hugenot territory. He was 1 tackle away again from breaking it as he gets down near the 30-yard line of Hugenot. That's a pickup of nearly 24 yards on the play. Don't forget, Rock Lawson has 2 touchdowns tonight. Steve, in the first half, he got a pick 6 for 25 yards.
Right.
And then here in the 3rd quarter, the only score so far was a 55-yard run by Rock Lawson. And again, he was 1 tackle away from going to the house again.
Yep, between him and Alex Spangler, they've done all the scoring tonight, Mark. And like I said, Till Butler's done a great job managing the football. No turnovers. And
Butler has 3 touchdown passes to Alex Spangler. Rock Lawson has a 55-yard touchdown run and a pick 6 for a touchdown. And Drew Sharino, a 2-point conversion. And Garrett Hutchinson was, 4 of 4 on his point afters. Timeout taken by the Cyclones. We'll tell you this broadcast made possible by Able Heating and Air. Able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. And there's Mama Mae's. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mae's, 829-9200. For the time out on the field, it's 3:54 to play, 3rd quarter action, and not too many things stop the clock. Of course, the timeout does. And an injured player stops it as well, Steve, 35-0. This is beyond my expectations tonight. I thought coming in that with the weapons that Hugenot had and the fact they played some 6A teams this year, coupled with the fact that Eastern View was going to be playing without Chance Graves and Blake Leak, I thought it might be a 17-point differential, and it's 35. And, of course, we've still got 3.5, almost 4 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter in the entire 4th, so obviously things can change. But I think Eastern View has certainly exceeded my expectations from a scoring standpoint tonight.
Yeah, they have mine too, Mark. I thought it was going to be a lot closer game, but it's all pointing to can't get ahead of ourselves. Dinwiddie's coming in here next week, and they're going to be loaded. Here comes Drew.
Drew Sharina's first carry of the night comes on a sort of a delayed or reverse handoff there. They faked it to Lawson, and Sharina came around and took the handoff and got good yardage. Picked up about 9 yards. I think that's his first carry tonight, and he gets it down to the 23-yard line.
But, I was saying, don't want to look ahead, but I know Louisa fans and Eastern View fans are heading looking for that Thanksgiving weekend showdown. If we can win out next week and Louisa wins out against Patrick Henry, they walloped Spotsylvania 56-12. In that big matchup for the rematch of Miracle Mineral from last year. So that's, what it's heading to. But, got to get, Dinwiddie's going to come up here ready for, they just beat a good Monacan team that was 8-2 and pretty much destroyed them. So, and with Eastern View still banged up, I look for a lot closer ball game next Friday night up here at Cyclone Stadium.
And so Louisa then would get Patrick Henry of Ashland next week. All right,
Louisa.
Here's Rock Lawson. No, this is Ronte Robinson. Robinson is going to take it in from 24 yards out. His first touchdown run of the night.
And you got her lock the front doors, shut the windows, batten down the hatches. Rock Lawson's a Cyclone touchdown. Ronta Robinson with the touchdown mark.
From 24 yards out, it's 41-0. Blowout here. Eastern View over Hugenot, and Hugenot just flat. It seems like they just really not much into it at this point. So Robinson tacks on another 6 points for the Cyclones, and his run of 24 yards.
And again, this just, cemented it right now. This is going to, like I said, I thought it would be a lot more closer, but things didn't go well for Hugenot as soon as they stepped off the bus.
They were here late. Makes you wonder if it just kind of put them out of rhythm. Butler gets the ball down, and Hutchinson kicks it through. 42-0 our score here with 3:12 to play in the third quarter. All right. Well, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. So Louisa gave up the first 6 points to King George tonight, and then apparently they just blasted them after that and won in convincing fashion. So then Patrick Henry of Ashland, what does this say about the PH team, Steve, when you think about, and I know matchups or styles, make games and that sort of thing, and from one week to the other, we know about all that, but Spotsylvania was a team that beat Eastern View and ended Eastern View's 45-game regular season winning streak 18-14. Sounds like it was 18-14 a couple weeks ago, and then Patrick Henry just blows out Spotsylvania.
You're right, and Spotsylvania got beat last week too, pretty bad, by King George. So, I mean, it's like that Spotsylvania team had to be so jacked up against Eastern View, and it showed. And Eastern View probably played a flat ball game, because I'm still baffled to how Eastern View lost that game, because what I was told is the first half they were down 18-0. They came back in the second half and scored 14 points and were on their way, but penalties, 2 costly penalties killed them on the drive. So that hats off. Spotsylvania played a better ball game and they won, according to Coach Hatfield. But I think this has just rejuvenated this Eastern View team to prove that, hey, we're here for real. And like I said, they don't have quite all their weapons. I wish they had Blake Leak and Chance Graves coming in next week against Dinwiddie, but they're playing. The kids are playing lights out football tonight. So kudos to the Cyclones for stepping up.
Okay, ball carrier here. He's got some running room. Makes a couple of nice moves. Still on his feet was the ball carrier across the 30-yard line, and that was number 20 for Hugenot. That was Anthony Scott. Good-looking run, and one of the Hugenot's best plays in this second half.
I was going to say, where's he been all evening? I mean, they haven't even been running him, but he had looked like he almost broke it.
Picked up 12 yards on a first down. Of course, the clock continues to run, 2:40 and counting here in the third quarter. 42-0 in favor of the Cyclones over these visiting Hugenot Falcons. Darnell Mason, the quarterback. He's going to throw short. This one is nearly picked off by diving Alex Spangler, who stepped in front of the intended receiver, Kevin Gales, and nearly came up with it.
He almost came up with it, Mark. Another interception. He was hoping the ball was up further. So
2nd and 10 now. Falcons from the 32.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
That's why the clock's not running.
Yeah.
We have a penalty.
Yeah, we have an ineligible receiver downfield.
Also, we'd like to thank our chain gang over there for the continued service to our football program. There's Steve Shanks, Freddie Shanks, David Pollard, and Chris Tuttle. Our JV squad is David Rout.
Ineligible receiver
David
declined.
Rout Jr. Penalties declined.
2nd down and 10.
Second down.
And now Darnell Mason brings his team back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 from the 32. Under 2 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Here's Mason airing it out. And straight down the center of the field. And he tried to get it to Monreal
Pass is incomplete.
Ross, Eli Harris, Alex Spangler back there defending for the Cyclones.
They're right with him, and you think the little guy had more speed, but he was right there. Was Eli Harris and Alex Spangler right there with him.
Well, Monquel Ross is the player you sort of likened to Diego Hunter.
He doesn't have the skills of Diego Hunter. He has the stature of Diego Hunter.
Yeah, Diego Hunter was quite the football player.
Yeah, he would
wasn't
make you miss. He would have.
Diego. 3rd and 10. Falcons from the 32. Clock runs. 1:05 to play, 3rd quarter. Darnell Mason, quarterback. 3 receivers to the right side. We got movement on that left side of the Hugenot offensive line. He's going to push them back 5 yards and bring up 3rd and 15 from the 27.
And that was brought on by Ronta Robinson, just coming in there, just feigning a blitz, and they just moved. So that's one way to stop the clock, get a penalty. But like I said, Mikey King went out with a sprained ankle, looked like turned ankle, twisted ankle in the first series of the game tonight, and he's back in street clothes. But it looks like he can get him back for next week. That'll really help this Eastern View squad get that ankle rehab this week.
Here's 3rd and 15. Here comes some pressure. And he's in trouble, and he's sacked at the 15-yard line. They were all over it, Steve. You got Ronte Robinson and company. Wow, they just smothered Mason, and he was slow to get up. They tackled him all the way back at the inside the 20-yard line. At the 18, he lost 9 yards on the play. And that brings up 4th and 24.
And they're just going to let this clock run out and get to the 4th quarter here.
I don't think this can run fast enough for the Hugenot Falcons, can it?
Nope.
Final 4 seconds ticking. 3, 2, 1, and done here in the 3rd quarter. With our score, Cyclones 42, Falcons nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back to the 4th quarter right after this.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best. Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
All right, welcome back. Start of the 4th quarter here at Cyclone Stadium. Region quarterfinal game between the Cyclones and Falcons of Hugenot. It's been all Cyclones. As we start the 4th quarter, It's 4th and 25 and a Hugenot punt. Spangler takes it near midfield. Comes to the near side. They force him out of bounds at about the Hugenot 40. So we'll have outstanding field position for Eastern View. Steve, 42-0 in favor of the Cyclones, and continuously running clock now for when. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Flag on the field.
Yeah, there is a flag on the field, and that will stop the clock, as will a timeout and an injured player.
It looks like it's going to be against Hugenot. We'll see what the.
Also, you need a ride home.
It might be. It was on a punt, right? The punt return. They picked up the flag. Could be up against Eastern View, probably a block in the back. It looks like.
Thanks to all the booster members who are here tonight serving delicious food and cold drinks in an effort to support our athletes.
Yep.
Please
Yep,
ask them how
Okay.
you can
Yeah,
come
it's
to the
usually against the receiving team, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Special thanks to the JV
So
cheerleaders
we'll
for
actually
helping out
mark
tonight.
it back to the
Concession
Hugenot
state.
47-yard line. Still outstanding field position for Eastern View. When do you think we'll start seeing some of their reserves?
Well, I think you're going to see them right now, especially on the offensive line. Look, they're all going in right now.
Let's try to pick up some of those players as we see them. Got a new center in there, number 66.
And number
That's,
46 is the
Nate
quarterback.
Newton. All right, well, that would be Caden Hughesby, right?
Yep.
It is Caden Hughesby. Deuce Washington back there. He gets the ball carry. Washington, his first carry of the night. Gets to the 45. He'll pick up 2. Up next to 2nd and 8. All right, who else we got in there, Steve?
53.
All right, 53. I don't have him.
Is it 63? 63.
Okay, 63 is Caleb Quinn.
Yep, he's in there.
52, Corey Long.
73.
73, Sammy Fairfax.
Yeah, he's in there, not 63, 73.
All right, now we got number 20, Jalen Woodward, top of your screen receiver,
And we do have 63.
along with Dylan White, number 18. And then number 24, D'Artagnan Sherman. That's your trio I just mentioned as a receiving corps to the right. This is Deuce Washington, not going anywhere on the handoff here, as coming in to disrupt the play and make the tackle was Mackay Briggs of Hugenot. And he'll lose a couple yards, bring it back to the original line of scrimmage, which is the 47, and it's 3rd and 10. Clock running, 10:40 to play, 4th quarter. You're looking at the Eastern View reserves. Number 15 tonight is not Blake Leak. It is, you got on
Greg Bradley.
Greg Bradley wearing jersey number 15 tonight for Eastern View. He is in the lineup as well.
Do we say number 12 too?
Number 12 is Devin Ovendo. No. And he is the receiver here. No, that's Bradley.
That's Bradley.
Bradley is a receiver here.
Bradley on the reception.
So is this Greg Bradley?
Yep. And number 12 out there on the Eastern View is the wideout way out there.
That's Davin Ovendo.
Eastern View's first punt of the evening, isn't it?
It is. That means Garrett Hutchinson will come on to kick. But you know, this clock continues to run too.
Yeah, and you want your reserves out there getting some playing time. You don't want your players getting injured and your stars. You want to save them for next week.
Number 21, Steve, is Nick Martin. 25, Marshall Addo. A couple other players in there now on this punt formation. Here is the kick by Hutchinson. This one fielded inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, there's a block.
Yeah, you're going to get a bad block coming in. And as the player, the return man there, number 8 for Hugenot, Marquise Dunbar, got out to about the 35-yard line, but they're going to be bringing this one back.
Yeah, Drew Serena got clipped, blocked right below it, so it's going to be bringing it back. That's going to stop the clock, 9:17 to go here. And see if Hugenot plays the reserves. I don't see them. I see them loading up their first team again to come back in.
Well, you know, this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. And UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union, 888-887-9136. And Able Heating and Air, able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. And now they're marking it all the way down to the, down at the 7-yard line.
We got some new places on defense too, Mark. Got 69 in there. 69, he's been there. That's 69 is Jordan Breckley. He's been in there.
Oh, yeah, he's been in there. But we've got a reserve quarterback in there, and here's a reserve running back who's tackled hard at the 20-yard line. Caden Hughesby got him.
Yeah.
And the running back was number 14 for Hugenot, and that is Rakeem Creighton.
Number 51 goes in for Eastern View, and again, I don't have him on the roster.
What's the number?
51, yeah, dude. Giancarlo Hernandez.
Giancarlo Hernandez.
And look what Huguenot's done. They put their first teamers back in, all that beef up front against our little second teamers.
Yeah, but they got their second string quarterback in there, and now a reserve running back as well. And this is
14 on the carry.
number 14, Rakeem Creighton, again the ball carrier, tackled shy of the 25-yard line. And it's going to bring up third down and about 6.
And if they go get a touchdown, go for 2, we'd stop the running clock. You know that, don't we?
Yeah.
So.
I said third. I mean second down and about 6 here.
We got 52 on the defensive end over there. I think we've spoken to him before. It's we don't have a 52 on the.
No, I've got Curry Long for Eastern View, number 52. Now your backup quarterback here, Steve.
Yep.
That's Courtney. Let's try to pick his number up. Number 18.
Yep.
Okay. Now number 18 is somebody we don't have on the roster.
No, we don't.
But he is the backup quarterback.
Yep. And he took off and ran the ball, but.
On the carry.
And they moved the chains. They're going to keep him in there.
Ball at the 33-yard line. But that clock does continue to run. We're down to 7:25 and counting. Our score, Cyclones 42, Falcons nothing. And both teams now playing a lot of reserve players, especially Eastern View. A lot of new faces and numbers in there. And here's your quarterback airing it out. This is going to be picked off at the 35-yard line. And this is Alex. No, let's see. Where's his number?
6.
Oh, okay. That's Logan. That's Josh Logan, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Eli
It is
Harris,
Josh Logan.
Ring that bell.
Or is it Josh Logan or Eli Harris?
Number 6.
Okay, that's Logan then.
Yep. So, changing now, Eastern View gets the ball back on offense. And that was just a heave by the Huguenot quarterback right there.
Really was.
He just heaved it up and hoped somebody would get under and catch it. But
Well, this broadcast is made possible by Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. Mark O'Connell, Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk with you tonight. Representing the Culpeper Media Network. And the Cyclones looking really good here as Caden Hughesby hands off to Deuce Washington. And he'll pick up a yard, and that's about it. And several Huguenot players in on the tackle, including number 58, Jeremiah Prince.
yeah, but like I said, it's just going to be number 40. You see, we've called his name. That's Deuce Washington. Yeah, he's been in there. So.
We mentioned Caleb Quinn is 63. Number 24 is D'Artagnan Sherbin. 15 tonight, Greg Bradley. Caden Hughesby, the backup quarterback. Hands off once again. Deuce Washington straight ahead. Not much doing, maybe a yard. And we'll have 3rd and 8 coming up.
3rd and 8 and letting that clock run because it's already 10:15, Mark.
I know it.
I mean, the last late football game I remember, but it was a cold evening. It was a playoff, and it was the biggest. It was that 63-59 loss to Jefferson Forest. Remember
and
that?
that was really cold down there.
It was really cold, and it was a late game because it kept high scoring and kept just going on. And we had to drive all the way back from Lynchburg. Because Jefferson Forest isn't in Lynchburg. It's on the other side of Lynchburg.
Yeah, it sure is. That's the first I'd ever been down there. And they had that, who was that running back? It was Navy something.
Yeah.
Was it Navy Jones?
Navy Jones.
Greg Bradley, the ball carrier. Penalty flag down.
And we got a flag down here. And what's the call here? Is that going to be a hold or is that going to be a face mask?
Look for the man in the white hat.
It's a face mask. Yep, face mask.
Good eye, Steve.
Is it going to be a personal 15-yard or a 5-yard?
Flagrant or incidental?
Let's see.
Is that the terminology?
Yep. And like I said, Hugenot's wanting that bus warmed up. They want to get out of here, you know, because it's starting to get a little chilly tonight here. It's supposed to be cold this weekend. It's 40. It is definitely cold.
Ball now at the 42-yard line.
It's 33 degrees right now. It's clear. So
42-yard line, 3rd and 3 for Eastern View. And they resume the clock, 5:30 now and counting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can pick up some more players out there whose names perhaps we haven't called. Have we mentioned Connor Golightly?
No, we have not.
Okay.
Connor goes lightly.
58, Connor Golightly, senior lineman, is in there. Here's a reverse handoff, Deuce Washington. Not much doing. Well, Washington's trying hard, but he's running into.
And number 66, we haven't called him.
All right. And that would be Nate. No, that's Nate Newton.
Okay.
Someone's called a timeout, I do believe, because we got stoppage.
Eastern View has right here. They got to punt it. And like I said, it's going to be after 11 o'clock before we get home. And it's a late game again for our viewing audience. It was a late game tonight due to the fact that Hugenot bus was an hour and 10 minutes here late getting here.
Okay, 4th and 3. Garrett Hutchinson in there for his second punt of the night. And another penalty flag comes in.
Is that going to be on the Eastern View, or is that because if it's on against Hugenot, it's going to be 5 yards and first down Eastern View. And they're going to say it's going to be against Eastern View. The center picked up the ball.
We'll make it 4th and 8 now from the 35-yard line. Garrett Hutchinson stands inside his own 25 for his second punt of the night. It's a good snap. Here's Hutchinson's kick. Keeps it low on the ground. This one gets by the return man. He lost his footing. I think he wanted to return it, Steve, but he got out of position there.
Yeah, he did. He wanted to pick it up, and I think his teammate then kind of, was like, no. And they don't want to give any Eastern View any more ammunition than they already given them today. I mean, any gifts. So now it's going to be Hugenot on offense again, and, Eastern View, we got number 64 now. And you said that's Golightly, right? Is that
64, Jordan Yates.
So we got him in there. On the defensive line, 56.
Caleb Quinn. No, I'm sorry, 56. Damian Martinez.
All right, he's in there. Make sure we get all the 21 on the outside.
Nick Martin. Yeah.
Don't want to shortchange anybody. Here comes the big beef.
How about number 11? That's Dre Waters.
Yeah.
He's in there. Defensive back against the slot receiver. At the bottom of your screen is your cornerback, Nick Martin. Here's your running back hit in the backfield for a loss.
And Eastern View's trying to strip the ball away from him. I mean,
they're hungry for points, Steve.
That's true. And number 60 just came in for Eastern Who we have is number 60.
That would be CJ. Listen to this. Beachboard.
CJ Beachboard. What a name. Good name.
Beachboard. CJ Beachboard. He's a junior, so hopefully we'll be calling that name more frequently next year. Number 34 in there is Armand Henson.
So we're getting, like I said, getting a lot of.
You talking about going deep to the bench. I mean, and this is really good. These guys can get some playing time in here in a playoff game. Your running back broke a tackle and a second tackle, makes a cut. Then he draws about 8 of the Eastern View Cyclones, who finally bring him down. After number 20, Hugenot there, that was Anthony Scott on the run. But even though he picked up first down yardage, he gets it out to the 30-yard line. Clock runs. We're under the 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. It's 42-0 Eastern View, and they have really gone deep to the bench. Is there anyone we haven't called, whose name we haven't called?
I can't see. And right now, as I said, Hugenot they definitely want to get a score against the second-string defense, third-string defense of Eastern View.
And there goes your running back again, and this may be a face mask coming in, or no, maybe not.
Yeah.
But the running back was number 20, Anthony Scott, and that'll move the sticks. So they are moving the ball against this reserve unit, but
A little too little, too
yeah,
late.
too much, too little, too late, right?
Yep.
Out to the 42-yard line.
And I am surprised. I thought Hugenot would come in with their beef up front and their athleticism. They would play a better game. But Eastern View, got to give credit. I mean, they crushed them. They crushed it. So.
Well, this ball is fumbled in the backfield, and your quarterback has to pick it up. He makes something out of nothing, and he's still on his feet, and he would still be on his feet had he not lost his footing. And that's number 15. Chirico Bassfield. First time we've called his name tonight.
I mean,
He's talking about making a busted play into something, Steve, and he did that all on his own.
He did. He almost took it to the house.
Yeah.
And,
Down to a minute 30 and counting, though. Don't you just know Hugenot would like to get on the scoreboard here?
I know they don't want their team is making sure they don't get on the scoreboard here.
So Chirico Bassfield is lined up as a quarterback now. Ball got away from him. And they're going to pounce on it. Looks like Eastern View's got it. That's number 60,
Yeah.
C.J. Beachboard.
And he gets to ring the bell.
Beachboard can ring the bell.
Yeah, they're all cheering for him.
Yeah. For whom the bell tolls. Right now it tolls for Beachboard.
It tolls for Beachboard. You're right. He got to recover the fumble.
But wouldn't that be an exciting moment when
Yeah.
under the
Under
circumstances?
playing, you're a backup player. You get a fumble recovery. You look like you're well liked by your teammates. They're happy for you to get it. And he was there, and you were able to pounce on it and pick up that football.
Eastern View's offensive unit, full of reserves, comes back onto the field for the final minute and 9 seconds
How
of this
big is
game.
Beachboard listed? What's his size?
Beachboard is listed at 5'10", 185.
Looks bigger than that.
And here is your running back. This time it's number 41, Hunter McCorkle. Another name we haven't called. All right, and we're under a minute to play. I'll tell you, this broadcast made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mays, 829-9200. And Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And now the final 35 seconds of this game will tick off as Caden Hughesby will take a knee.
Let's take a knee, and then
And they can let these final 25 seconds run because it's a 40-second play clock, Steve. They don't have to run off another play. So let's recap how this one, the final score is going to be 42-0 Eastern View. And, you look at how it all came about with the scores. Till Butler, 3 touchdown passes tonight. Let's see. So he had 3 touchdown passes to Alex Spangler. Rock Lawson had 2 touchdowns, one by an interception on defense, another by a 55-yard run. And then Ronte Robinson, a 24-yard run. We had the extra points by Garrett Hutchinson consistently, and a 2-point conversion by Drew Sharina. Steve, it was all Eastern View, and I know we're both surprised, not that they won, but by really how easily they won.
Yeah, how easily they won and how they played. I mean, they just played tough, Mark, and hats off to Eastern View. They played a whale of a ball game against a somewhat talented Hugenot squad, but Eastern View just came in ready tonight. Now they move on next week and to face the Dinwiddie Generals here at home at 7 o'clock at Cyclone Stadium.
And that'll be our region semifinal game next week. Cyclones and Generals. All right, well, that'll do it tonight for us from Cyclone Stadium. We're once again our final score, Eastern View 42, Hugenot 0. And for Johnny and Steve, I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week again from Cyclone Stadium.
Good night, everybody.